Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the meet and greet summer edition here in Tenerife. With, of course, next to me, Adam. We have Marc Pare. We have Victor Fernandez. We all know them. We're going to answer all your questions. We're going to talk a little bit about what we have been doing here. And of course, first I need to apologize for being a little bit late. We are on the Canaries. It's tradition, but of course, still apologies. I'm sorry. We had some minor technical difficulties, but it seems we are sorted now and we can get started. In this edition, we will also give away some nice things. For example, 1 week free rent here in Tenerife with DPC, and one spot on the next clinic from Marc and Victor. So very good stuff to win. Keep a good eye out on the questions and how you can win it. For now, I'm going to go to Adam, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his year, what he has been doing, where he has been working on, how it was to be back in Tenerife finally, and I'm just going to give him the microphone and see what he can share with us.
Yeah, well, I don't know where to start. I mean, that's a very broad set of questions there, Joost. Thanks, mate. Where to start? What have I been doing? So, I guess, firstly, yeah, really nice to be back in Tenerife, really nice to be back in the Canaries. I left a year and a half ago now. We were here winter testing, doing the stuff here, kind of just before COVID, actually. And then since then, I've been in Maui, so we've been pretty much non-stop development on a variety of different sales. We've mostly been obviously working on the wave sales. The boys managed to sneak over to Maui, so we put how long? Quite a while. I mean, really a long time. The guys were in Maui for a while as well, and so till now, it's been probably 18 months of development. Have gone into sort of wave sales and foil sales and things like that. That's kind of mostly what I've been doing, but it's funny after all that time actually to come back here, and it's really enjoyable actually. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you very much, Adam. Yeah, you've lived here for a while, so it must be good to be back. Everybody was, I saw lots of happy faces and familiar feeling. That's El Medano. It's always good vibes. Let's move to Marc Pare. You've done your clinic here together with Victor, of course. Can you tell us a little bit about how it was and what you've been up to lately?
Yeah, the clinics have been great actually. We did like our first clinic in Pozo, and people was pretty happy, I would say. And yeah, we gave it our best. The same here. And yeah, I mean, it's our first clinics. Victor had done some other clinics in the past, but for me, it was my first like proper clinics. So it was cool. Like I was a bit nervous at the beginning, but it was actually pretty cool. It's nice to pass on your knowledge, like what you have learned throughout all these years, and to be able to help other people, and see them happy, like getting that knowledge and achieving them, like the goals that they were setting. I think that's pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, pretty much I've been just traveling all over the place. Despite COVID, I've been trying to keep busy and keep training, which at the end of the day is what I want, to be ready for the events when they come. So yeah, I was on Maui with the boys, and I spent some time in Denmark as well, which was cool as well. And yeah, then back to Pozo before coming here. So it was good, like to mix up some training and then with the clinic. So yeah, I'm looking forward now to get some proper conditions here and enjoy with the guys as well some time on the water with them. So yeah, excited.
Thank you very much, Marc. Yeah, you've been training a lot. That was visible also during the clinic. I mean, they were on the water all the time and really involved with the guys, but you also showed some sick tricks in the meantime. And a pleasure always to see you sailing. And I think you did great. I saw lots of happy faces, and you guys were really on top of the participants, and I think everybody really improved and had a blast. It's not over. We will still have some time together with the rest of the guys, so let's see. But thank you for sharing. Of course, we cannot forget Victor, three-time world champion. Always when he's around, everybody is recognizing him and super positive energy. Can you tell us a little bit how it's been for you these days and what you've been up to lately?
Yeah, thank you, Job. And yeah, it's actually I had an amazing time with them and my family on Maui. I mean, despite the COVID, we were pretty lucky to be there because I was going there for 3 months and then we end up being there 5 months. But we took advantage of the testing we did together, especially on the superstar and superhero. I think we stepped up a lot on the testing and we had amazing conditions. The spots were empty. Even the locals told us that they haven't seen this in 30, 40 years. Hokipa that empty, or many other spots in the island. So it was a great time, and yeah, I've been in Poso the last month with Marc. We also did a clinic there with Pozo Winds. We had a few less guys than here, but it was a great clinic. We spent a lot of time in the water there in small sizes, like using 3.7, 3.4, most of the guys in Pozo and Vargas, and then here we had 3 amazing days with 11 guys in the clinic, and we sell different spots around here in front of the center and in El Muelle. I think the guys improved a lot from the first to the third day, and despite the level they all had, they had a lot of things in common to improve, and that's where we are. Like what we can teach, Marc and I, we are there for this. I think we have a lot of experience, and we also like to see the people happy when they sail with us and they improve their skills. So yeah, I'm very stoked to be in Medano. It's one of my favorite places. I come here since before the World Cup. Actually, we had some Spanish events in El Cabezo, and I had great memories. And I hope the next 2 days we can have good sessions together, and also with the guys from the clinic that they're still here.
Thank you, Victor. I can definitely confirm everybody enjoyed himself. I saw them on the water, and yeah, if everybody's smiling, I think it's pretty safe to say everybody was happy. But if you have any questions and you're watching now, this is your moment. You can just put all your questions, doesn't matter what, doesn't matter how crazy it is, in the comments below. And we will try to run through as many as possible. I mean, that is why we're here, just to ask. Does you answer your questions? I have one, at least, that I'm a little bit curious about, because we are sitting next to the World Tour guys, and it's curious to see what you guys think about that this year possibly just has one stop, and that maybe the world title is depending on one event. So maybe you guys can share a little bit how you feel about that, and about the current situation surrounding the one event.
Thanks. So you want to know about silt, is what you're saying, yeah? Yeah, right. Where do I start? Yeah, so it looks like silt right now on the calendar would be most likely the only event. How do I feel about that potentially being having a world title? It depends how you want to see, I suppose what being world champion is. I mean, obviously the ideal situation is that you have a world champion that is the best in a variety of different conditions, and is kind of the best in the world all over the world, right? That's kind of what I guess being a world champion is. That said, I mean, some events are people spend years and years preparing for, and I mean the Olympics are about to start, or they're on right now. That's something that you spend years and years preparing for, and it boils down to one event. So it's obviously not ideal. I think that, I mean, silt in particular can be you know, pretty interesting conditions. And I mean, I think all of us here have probably been smashed in that shore break and not, you know, barely made it out for a heat. So you never know what you're going to get. Dream scenario, the world champion is the best person in the world in everything, right? It's not maybe that situation, but let's see if we get silt. I think we all want to be there, and everyone wants to do their best, and that's, I guess, what it boils down to. Yeah. I'm passing on to the boys.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Adam. Like the world champion, like the most fair way. It's like if you have like all these events, and then that can be decided of that. But I still think it's you know, inside the situation and like the tricky situation that we are in now, I think it's still pretty cool. You know, it's gonna give it a little bit of a different spice. You know, it's not like we might see some upsets. You know, like some people from the bottom, maybe they're gonna be at the top suddenly. You know.
Do you expect a lot of new faces?
I think, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think anything can happen. You know, we've seen like guys on world title contention on years before, like falling in first round. You know, like it's. So I think it's gonna give definitely a different spice, and yeah, it's gonna be different. So I think it's we have to look at it the positive way. If we can have an event, that's great. I mean, it's more than welcome. Like I really appreciate it. You know, so I think it's gonna be cool. You know, and hopefully for the next years to come, we can get back to normal schedule. You know, and yeah, just decide the world champion in a more fair way, you know. But as well, there's sports like downhill mountain biking that you can be World Cup winner, or then you can be world champion, which as well comes down to one event. Yeah. So you know, and I think it's cool and tricky at the same time, you know, because your mindset has to be on and ready for that one event, and sometimes your luck has to come your way. So I think it's exciting.
Yeah, I agree with them. You know, like for sure we all want a better tour or more events, but that's the situation right now. And I think if we have one event, it's much better than anything because it's just good for the sport, and we need something going on that also like we can all prove that we have something, you know, for the spectators, for our sponsors, for the media, and Silt. Anything can happen there, and the good thing there is that conditions change every hour. So of course it's not dream conditions, but it can change to starboard or to port on a few hours. So dead onshore, you can, yeah, in the same heat, you know, you have to change sail in 15 minutes 3 times. So I think if the one who wins there really deserves also to be world champion, you know, because it's super tricky to win there. We've seen also in slalom, for example, guys winning in one slalom on Seal because it was just windy for one race, and they have won this event. And it's really tricky to compete there. It's called, I don't know how many people are preparing for that event. So it's going to be important to prepare your equipment for that only event of the year. And I had really good memories from this event, you know, because yeah, I've won it twice, and I've been going there since 2001. So for so many years. But I think we only ran 7-8 times in the 16 times I've been there, or 19, I don't know. So it's not windy hopefully it's windy when we go there, and it's the only event, and we can run the waves, because that would be very sad if we don't run the waves. Oh, no, but that's the point. We've had wind the last. Yeah, we had wind the last 3 or 4 years. We even had double eliminations, which is really important, you know, because if you go there and you only have one hit and you are out, it sucks a bit too. That's a bit harsh. A single and Silt is gnarly. It's gnarly, yeah, and you can compete from 3-4 up to 5-7. So let's see what happens, and we look forward to it. And I hope to meet the guys in the finals. Yeah. Hopefully, we are lucky and we can meet up there.
Thank you guys for this for this little bit inside information. We are all waiting for the wave tour to get started, and of course we are super bummed that in the Canaries or all the other events are cancelled. But yeah, it's this time of the year. But it's interesting. It all comes down to that event. Everybody's training, everybody's ready, and it's gonna be super exciting to see what is gonna happen. Like you said, it's gonna be a spicy event. Let's see. Good. I think that sums really the introduction up a little bit. There's questions coming in like crazy, so people are tuning in. It's nice to see. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget, you can win also some prizes. You can just put all your questions in the comments below, and we will try to run through as much as possible, as long as we have light, as long as we are comfortable and the things are not falling apart. We can continue. It has been a tough day, some technical difficulties, but I mean, we are on. That's the most important. That's the most important. Let's try a little question exercise for you guys. It's some quick questions just to get warmed up. And we have to pass the microphone quick so that it doesn't take too much time. But riding or jumping?
Riding.
Riding.
Both.
Both.
Riding.
Riding. I expected something else. Okay. Superstar or superhero?
Both? No, superstar.
Superhero.
Superhero.
All right. All right. The Mamba or the grip?
Mamba.
Depends on the conditions.
You have to choose, man.
Grip.
Then we go back loop or push loop?
Back loop all day.
Back loop.
Buggy. Yeah.
The first everybody agrees. Nice. Then what's your favorite conditions? It's a little bit more open.
Whoa,
Favorite conditions.
for sure, port tack, logo high, logo to mast, like side shore, bowls, wallop.
Sounds good.
Yeah, side off down the line, logo to mast as well, rippable conditions.
I mean, same, but I just say something. For example, Punta Preta, side of perfect point break, 4750. Yeah, down the line.
Side off for the win.
Favorite position?
Sorry?
It's in my phone. I don't know. I didn't put it there. Favorite position?
Upwind? What do you want from me?
I think I'll pass on this one.
Favorite position, I don't know. Yeah, number one. Number one.
You took too much time to think. Okay, I think we are warmed up. It's good. It's good. Like I said, the questions are pouring in. Let's go to this one. Are you using different wave boards for different wave spots? If so, why? What's the difference between these boards? For example, the Mamba and the grip. Different boards for different spots.
Yeah. So, for example, like the last few days, we've had kind of light wind, and it's been kind of gusty. The waves haven't been as powerful, let's say. Like we haven't had maybe the perfect tides when we've gone to the harbour wall. So, for me, in those conditions, slightly weaker waves. There's a lot of current on the harbour wall. I would choose the Mamba. It's planing really early. You're just going to get the most out of those conditions. Then obviously, if you start getting bigger waves, more powerful waves, a bit more wind, then I would go to the grip.
I think we are all going to agree a little bit with that. Like we all take the Mamba for like more shitty conditions, you know, like when we, or less than ideal, to put it in another way. So yeah, it just basically gives us that advantage to get the planing, and yeah, it just makes those weaker waves more fun. you know. And then I think again we all gonna agree that we take the grip when it gets better, and we want to do more like some proper rail turns on an open face, or yeah, more like powerful stuff.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I completely agree with the guys. The last 3 days of the clinic, for example, I was using my Mamba 94 because the conditions were really light, tricky, hard to go upwind. But with this board, it's what I want this board for, to go upwind even without planing, and then it's super easy to catch wave, really easy to go vertical on a thruster because it's a wave that you can hit maybe once or twice, but I want to hit it really vertical and smack it. And then for anything else, for me, the grip is ideal. Like I use it more down the line, but also in Pozo with really strong winds because it gives you a lot of grip when it's really choppy, and I want to have grip when it's super windy and choppy. So that's my choice.
Makes sense. Thank you, guys. That makes a lot of sense. And I've seen it the last days. You were on a 5.0 with a 94 in 80 knots and planing, and it looked super comfortable. So, and then indeed the grip and it's more powered up. Good. This question, really pay attention because it's an important one, and somebody's gonna give an important question. So remember, it's gonna be, what is your favorite wave setup, board and sail, for the conditions here on Tenerife? But let's say good conditions.
Good conditions.
Good conditions. Favorite setup, if you
Like, okay.
Right, your favorite setup.
That's actually a high one. 4.5. Like I really like here. 4.5 is a really good size. Normally start getting pretty decent waves. I mean, here particularly, if it gets windier, also good. But 4.5 is, pretty fun. And like that, I would take. In those, you know what? Here, I still like the Mamba. Yeah. Like hook keeper and things like that, a little bit different. I go to the grip a bit more often, but here I would still take a Mamba.
Interesting. 4.5.
I think I would have to go 4.2 and grip 4.2 Superhero and grip 75, just because I feel like 4.2 here, like when it starts getting, like when you're just up on 4.2, you can do like some high jumps and then get like some proper balls and waves to ride, and yeah, so I think it's good, and like you are not just like flying all over the place like you would be in Pozo, but in that case you have smaller waves. So yeah, I think 4.2 and 75.
4.2, 75.
Well, I'm gonna choose something different to the guys. I actually had my best sessions here when it was really windy because it brings a lot of swell. So I choose the 4.0 with the 82. I like to go with a bigger board because when it's a bit gusty and it's, for example, high tide, I like to have this extra width and volume to go upwind because in Cabezo there's a lot of current when the waves are big. But the 4.0 is such a technical sail for strong winds and super easy to control, and yeah, and you can do massive jumps in Cabezo with these big waves too, and also for the tricks on the wave with the smaller sail, less boom and stuff. It's I think it's my favorite setup.
So, but in this, you guys also pretty much agree. 4.5. Mamba, what 84 then? Yeah, 84. Yeah,
84. Same like Victor.
Yeah.
If you like a bit of volume and it's gusty, you wanna.
I understand. Yeah. And for you was the 75 4.2. I saw you last year in the bay, standing on the shore. That was
That was a good day.
Impressive. Yeah. It looked like your favorite setup. And 4.0 82. Yeah. Well, good choice, guys. Let's see. There is questions coming in from a lot of people that are watching. Here's a question from Dum Dum. He says, "Hi guys, about the 2022 products, can you tell us a little bit how you changed the grip and the Superhero, please? Thanks, Dum Dum."
I don't know what we're allowed to say. I don't think you're going to have to tune in. Basically, I would say all I know is that pretty soon we're obviously releasing, like it's September, mid-September release, and you're gonna have to wait till then, I would assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do like a big live release and stuff, I think, actually. Okay. But yeah, you're gonna have to tune in then.
But you have been working on it a long time.
But we've been working on it a long time.
Because there's no competition.
So we do.
Oh, yeah,
You
so-
should, if honestly, the sales I've rigged this year is hundreds, I think. Like literally hundreds. I don't think I can tell them because they're going to get in trouble if I hand them and they tell something.
They're basically really good.
I also don't know. Yeah, I was really hoping that there would be more, but yeah, it's coming soon. September, you say it's going to be released,
Yeah.
and then we know what we can expect and where you've been working.
Like a live release.
All right, and where can we find that?
I would assume all of the social media channels. Probably if you're watching right now.
Yeah.
Same place.
Nice, perfect. Same place, September. Keep an eye out on it. It's going to be good for sure. Bert Gunther has a question. Every year the sales have minor changes. What innovations can we expect in the future?
I can't tell you. I think right now, I think we're going to look at, I mean, let's say right now, what we have been working on is like a lot of construction stuff. So I think in terms of material and things like that, then a lot of work's going into that. Not just, you know, let's say changing the luff curve or changing batten positions or changing outlines and things like that that actually, you know, do make a really big difference. I think we're going to see, like, for now, like I think a lot of advancements in material and potentially I don't know, like way things are manufactured or things like that. But I think material manufacturing, that's going to be the way that we move forward. I don't know if the boys have any innovations.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you said it everything. So I don't know.
I think Adam it's working really close with Kai Hop on Maui. We are too, but Adam is living there, and yeah, as he said, the construction is gonna be what we look into the future, because the outline we have on the sets already, they are not changing that much from one year to another, but adding the material and the laughter a bit different, you know, with the really good boom, mass, and extension we have on the rig, I think they're just unreal. Like the weight is one of the parts that's going to play in the future as well, you know, with all these materials coming. So yeah, as he said, that's the innovation on the materials.
Like that's what I'd say. Like right now, the most things that we have in the loft are like a pretty radical amount of different materials.
Sounds good. Innovation is going to be in the materials. All right, this is one. On which moves are you currently working? Are you working on something new, Adam?
What am I working on? Yeah, do you know what? While I'm here, I'd like to do a couple of big stall doubles.
Stall doubles. This weekend, then?
Yeah, there you go.
When we were now in Pozo, I was working on my push forwards just to get them a bit more consistent, and yeah, being able to do it off smaller ramps and stuff. So yeah, not an easy job, but slowly getting there. So yeah.
Actually, also I was trying some stall doubles in Pozo. Yeah, I haven't been jumping so much the last, let's say, since the COVID. We've been so much on Maui that I haven't been jumping that much. So in Pozo, yeah, you just get destroyed after a couple of days of jumping. But yeah, I did a couple of stall doubles, and yeah, trying to recover maybe a bit of the level I had before, more in jumping. And yeah.
And any new wave moves?
Well, I think I've seen the guys doing like a lot of back loops off the lip in Pozo, backside of the lip, and yeah, I think there's a lot of the leap in Pozo because it's so unsure that some days when the wind is really is, it's almost better to jump on the way back than on the way out. It's a bit easier, but yeah, to land it on the wave is really difficult. You know, one thing is to try and to land it. So I like to see this from the guys, like back loop of the leap, push loop of the leap. Yeah, big. Yeah, I was trying some like stall forwards of the leap, and it's many stuff to do.
I actually just thought when I was here last February, you know what? I tried a couple of times. I got pretty close, and I would really, really like to land. Actually, now I'm here, and I've just remembered. Is a 360 into forward. I just forgot, but now I remember.
360 into forward.
Yeah, I landed a couple like on the top, but not like in, you know. And I would like to get some in.
Cool.
I think it looks kind of cool because of the way he rotates, and I think it's pretty doable. I think all of us have probably tried it. I think.
Yeah, I've done some outside as well and get them.
It's quite sick. It would be quite a cool move. Yeah.
Actually, I remember seeing many years in Fuerza Siete, one of the Spanish magazine, Rush Rando, landing one on the wave at Hoquipa.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like a proper 360 into forward, like on the white water and then pulling out the sail. And then I saw Ricardo also trying sometimes years ago, but he didn't pull it on the wave, but he was pretty close. And I'm sure some of you will land it. Or maybe me, I don't know. If I see the guys going for it, I will try. But I'm not going to be here for so many days when the conditions are going to be super strong. But yeah, it's a sick move. If someone can land it, I would love to see it.
Maybe we're gonna have to do a one-on-one.
We're gonna have to try this. Maybe stay tuned for one coming.
Yeah. 360 into forward. I look at the technical department. Bartek, you have time to make some evidence of this? 360 into forward is going to happen this weekend. Good. The technical department agrees. There's going to be a camera when the conditions are on. And let's see. So it should be fun, huh? Yeah, 360 into forward.
Let's do it. Let's have a 360 into forward off.
Yeah? It's here. It's done. Okay. Deal's done. This weekend when it's on, 360 into forward, we make a setup and we make it up a little bit with the people at home that had to wait for 1 hour. We will give them a little dessert with a 360 into forward. I don't know. I have to say something. Which boom do you prefer to use? We can also start from the other side. It's a little bit. Well, we start in the middle. Yeah.
It's gonna be the same.
Well, I'm using the Slim Platinum boom for waves, and it's amazing. It's so thin that now when I use one of the thicker ones, it doesn't make me want to sail anymore because it's really so good. I mean, when I use, for example, a salon boom, it's like using a SDM mass or the RDM mass, exactly the same. And I think we had an incredible boom, and the tail is so thin as well. When you do like summer chachos or I don't know, duck jibes and stuff, it's just so handly. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, as well. The super slim, hands down, best boom I've ever tried. Like hands down, like stiff and I don't know. The shape is super comfortable and light. You know, I think it's hard to beat that boom.
Yeah. 2 out of 3. Now, Adam,
Can you guess?
you use
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah. It's platinum slim.
Slim.
It is like hands down, easily the best boom. Full stop.
It's nice. Yeah. All right. Here's a question from one of the guys from your clinic, Yono, and he is asking, maybe he didn't dare to ask it in real life, but he asked, do you sometimes pull a big aerial move for pure show-off reasons? Just go big to show off. Do you do it sometimes, Mark? We start with you this one.
Yeah, I think we all have done it. Yeah, I mean we all have done it. I mean, you have to give some entertainment and some joy to the crowd sometimes. So yeah, I think we all have done it, and it feels good as well. You know, like when you get people a bit impressed, maybe. So it's good.
I think, yeah, I think we're all learning, especially when we are sailing together, you know, with friends. We just push each other a bit, like, you know, like, I'm gonna do it in your face, you know, but in a nice way, always, for sure.
Yeah, guilty as charged.
They're all guilty, you know. So don't worry, you can also show up from now on. How you found it, Mark, training with Victor, and what is the most important thing you learned from training with him? He's interesting into your cooperation. You do a clinic now, you are training together, sailing together, and tell us a little bit about it.
I mean, I've known Victor now for a while, I think, already, and it's been a while since we have been hanging out together. So it's definitely been good and helpful to hang out around him. So yeah, I mean, it's someone that I really admire, if not the person that I admire the most in windsurfing. So so it's cool to have it as a friend and as a training partner both. So yeah, I think I can for sure, like, there's certain things in my sailing that I must have picked from him, I would say. You know, for example, the riding. Like, I really like his low boom, like, kind of style, like with like the carves that he does, like open face carves. So that's something that I really like and appreciated. So yeah, but I mean, and as well, like competing, I think he's the competition machine. Like, I think there's no denying on that. Everyone knows that. So yeah, I think it's been cool, like developing as a professional windsurfer around him. Definitely.
Maybe if you the other way around.
Yeah, I remember watching Mark when he was, I don't know, 11 or so in Pozo, all day in the water. And that reminds me when I first came to Pozo 21 years ago, and I spent 2 months in Pozo pretty much until now, you know. He reminds me, like, okay, there's never a bad day. He was always in the water, wave or on the freestyle board, always doing something and spending so many more hours than other guys. And I think that's why he became such a good sailor. And I really like that he likes to sail also in all type of conditions, like port tag, starboard tag. He's traveling to places to improve his sailing in not his good side, let's say, because yeah, he's a bit better in port tag, but he got now really good in starboard tag, spending time on Maui and going to like onshore places in starboard tag as well. And I like to sail together with him, as I like to sail with Adam. You know, I think we have a pretty cool team, and I also learn actually from him, because when I'm in post and I see him going for the push forward, you know, I didn't go yet, but I know that at one point when I have my day and I feel you know, ready and fit, I will, you know, I will also push myself, and it's super cool to sail together. And yeah, and it's really fun, you know, to have guys like them on the team.
It's fun.
It's fun. No, it is. I mean, it is. Like everyone, you know, like if you see one of the boys do something, you're like, I've got to do it now. No, it's fun.
Thank you guys for sharing. Let me see. There are so many. I'm losing track. This one I went in. All right. What happens when you use a too stiff mast in a small wave sail? This is a question from Leon Zurhorst. Give it to you.
I mean, so it depends on I suppose, not just, you know, if you just said the sheer stiffness of the mast, there's also like how the bend curve reacts with the luff curve that the luff sleeve has, and things like that. But as a base level, I mean, I would say that, for example, when we do a testing, we actually try, especially the smaller sizes, you know, like some of them come with the recommended mast, and then they have like the next best option. And then we try them, and obviously then you also try sometimes, you know, like a really bigger mast, and let's say in a smaller sail at like a really kind of base level. What you end up with is a sail that, I mean, it works, but it doesn't feel quite the same way. So a softer, it's a balance, but with like a stiffer mast as a general rule, you don't get the sail filling, you know, especially you're not getting quite the same volume out of the sail. The same way that if you have like too soft a mast, it's the same thing, you know, it starts folding, you get like, you're pulling down on, you never really get, like, normally with a stiff mast, the leech starts to fall away, but you still don't quite get the volume.
Yeah, I mean, basically, for what I've tried, they get a bit twitchy, you know, and you lose and they get unstable. Like a small sail, as Adam said, like then it requires a bit more volume then. So feel like you want it to work as one piece, and like, you know, like with a softer mast, you can get it to like get like that more forgiving feel, and like you get that twist, and you know, like the sail is working at once, you know, but giving at the same time, you know. And with a stiffer mast, like you might feel like suddenly the gas hits, and like you feel that power, and then like suddenly it just disappears and it's gone, and you just get like a bit unstable and twitchy, I would say, as a general rule. But as Adam said, you know, like sails are different, you know, like, and one is going to require a stiffer mast than others, you know, and so yeah, depends.
Well, yeah, I think the guys said pretty much all, but yeah, from my experience, it's like on the smaller sizes, it's been always a bit harder to find a good mast, but I think right now we have a really good 340. Like years ago, when it was North and not Duotone, we didn't even have a 340, but we end up working on a good 340. That is really important, especially not just for the team riders, but I think for a lot of clients that are really light and they buy the 3.0, 3.4, and 3.7. It's where we put the 340 on our sails. So yeah, if you put a really stiff mast, like we used to do, like we had to cut a 370 to do that. The sails were still too stiff, you know, and they don't give you the same control because it feels really flat, the sail with the stiffer mast. And as Adam and Mark said, the softer mast is gonna give you a better shape, like on the bigger sails, and that's what we look for, you know, on the smaller sizes. And the light guys, especially I have a friend that is a team rider from Spain, Nacho Rocha, and he's 65 kilo. He used a lot the 3.0 and the 3.4. Even on the 4.0, he puts the 340 with a super long extension, because on the 370 is too soft, too stiff for him. So he plays a little bit with the extension, or he combined the 340 top with the 370 base. It's another way to do it. So maybe the guys at home can think about doing this if they have different masts to exchange.
It's like with that, like it's like the stiff mast. Yeah, like you're not getting that volume, so the sail body doesn't get the same shape in it, and you're not getting the same, like, basically the same lift out of it. You're also not getting the same control because that shape is giving you the control there.
Makes sense, but yeah, you guys are working on it always, so it's good to hear the tips and the things that are important. Good. We have sorry, I'm reading also questions and thinking, and sometimes my brain says stop because I'm reading, questioning. But okay, I try my best, guys. We are still alive. It's not my job to be a live presentator. I'm just a simple. Okay, but we go on. I'm enjoying myself. It's really, I'm learning a lot. But this question I really like, from Grégoire Lafortune. He asked, what was your most hurting failed jump in Pozo this summer, or worst wipeout? You were not here this summer, but so you need to come up with another story. But there's heavy crashes in Pozo, no?
Heavy, yeah. Pozo, I think Pozo, I mean, even though I just said the last time I was in Pozo, there's definitely days that you like smack the water a few times and then you have to go like back to your apartment, turn all the lights off, dark room, take some ibuprofen and just lie in the dark for a little bit, questioning the life choices that have led you to this moment.
Yeah, there's one that definitely still I still feel that one in my back. I was gonna do a stall double, and like was at the top, just like in the position to pull, and as I pulled, lost the front hand, like went over the bars, like I don't know how high I was, but like went spinning, like somehow managed to turn myself around to not land face first, landed on my back, like huge whiplash. And like I still like feel it under my shoulder blade. Been to the physio a couple times to get rid of it. Got like 5 days off to see if it would get better, but I can definitely still feel it. So that was an early one, and that was probably 2-3 weeks ago. So yeah, but been once again another summer in Pozo with with some ibuprofen and some dark rooms, as I said.
Yeah, Pozo is gnarly. I think I think one of my worst wipeouts it was in 2019 doing the PWA in the single elimination in the semis against Ricardo. I also had a stall double, but I stalled it too much, so I started going down, and then I pulled 2 times, but it was too late, and then I stayed on the boom, so I slapped my neck really bad. I really compressed my back and my neck together, and after that I came back to the beach and I went home and I went to the physio for 2 days. Then the third day was the double elimination, and I was just lucky to be able to compete, but it took me a month to recover before the event here in Tenerife. So I still remember that I didn't say for 3 weeks after Pozo, after that double elimination. So yeah, I mean, we are talking about big height and a lot of like a speed on the second rotation. So
Just so you have an idea, try to jump off a 8 or 10 meter balcony to the water and just slap on your back. That's how it feels basically, But on top of that, sometimes we come with rotation. So that's why now, for example, we have the Ion Impact wetsuit. So shout out to them. Thanks a lot for that. Like it's been definitely saving my back a bit more this year. So thanks a lot.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. It sounds horrific. Yeah, you guys are going big, and sometimes you forget that you can also crash because you're landing quite a lot of tricks. But yeah,
Everyone crashes.
everyone crashes. Yeah, but the higher you go, the harder you crash. No. Yeah. Question from Musa. It's directed to you.
Oh, I already know. We've got bad news written all over it.
Adam, are you ready for your stag do?
Absolutely not.
What is
Not.
it? What is it?
That's like, well, it should be technically like before you get married, you have your night with your mates. But obviously, I got married in Maui, so no, I'm not ready for it. I don't think I ever will be.
Your bachelor party. You
Yeah,
call it
no,
the stag do.
In England, stag do.
Stag do.
Yeah.
Slang, English slang. It's different. Are they planning someone for you?
I hope not.
Oy, oy. It looks like they are. You know, Mark. All right. But then, how long can you last riding? This is a question from Henry Kolberg. I think he means windsurfing, so don't worry. How long can you last?
I mean,
Answer the question. It's not my question. I just read it.
it depends on different days. You can ride longer than other days.
If you drink or not.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
question is which position?
It depends on the conditions. I mean, like when there's good days, when you have a good day, you can go for really long. But yeah, I don't know. Hours?
Hours.
Yeah. Windsurfing.
Yeah, depends on my day as well. Again? Yeah. 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 Just relax. Some relaxing riding. Sometimes it's good, Sometimes you have to chill and just ride some chilled waves, It's good for you. When I go to the water, it depends. Like sometimes I have those days where I want to do something, and then I just lose my head, and I can spend like 4 to 5 hours, and then I come back in, and I'm like, what the fuck? What did you even do? Like, you're just done for the rest of the day. When you do a session like this, just trying and trying and trying, So I would say the better sessions there are like the ones like 2 hours and a half session, where you're just having fun and not like just trying to do something just for the sake of doing it.
Well, I haven't had very long session lately. uh, like like Mark said, yeah, sometimes you can get stuck on a move and you can set for 5 hours, and if you don't have the watch with you, you can be trying the move, and then you get stuck and you don't make it, and the next day you cannot even sail because you are so tired. So yeah. But I used to say when I was really young in Pozo for 8 hours, I just had breakfast and dinner. Breakfast at 12 because I woke up at 12 because I was so straight from 8 hours. But the next day, because you are 14, you are so like you have no pain at all. So and then I had dinner at 12 at night. So
I think if the conditions are good, you can. There's days wave riding. Yeah, you go all day.
I don't know why you guys find it so funny, but bloody serious question. Let's move on to the next question. It's anonymous. Any tips for a controlled forward loop in highly overpowered condition? Controlled forward loop, overpowered conditions. Any tips?
I think like the two biggest ones are like to really, especially when you're powered, is to really make sure you like look over your shoulder and really get your hand back, like right down to the boom clip, because that's how you're going to control the power. And if you don't get your hand like right back, the especially when you're powered, that sail is just going to like punish you immediately. That would be my two big tips. But really the look back one, sorry.
I think you might have to come to one of our clinics for that one. Just joking. I think you have to really focus on the takeoff, and as Adam said, backhand really far back and the look back. It's going to give you that control. But like, it's important that you focus on a good takeoff before you actually even do that. Because like if you put your hand really far back and you are not doing a right takeoff, then it can go wrong as well. But it definitely helps a lot putting your hand back and pulling hard in the right position.
yeah, I think I want to add the speed into all what they said, because when you have a lot of speed and a good takeoff, is the only way to don't have so much power on the sail when you move your hands back and then you look back, So you have to pull much later and having the hands really far back and looking back, so you can rotate at the like really low, close to the water, doing that when you're overpowered. But if you are really overpowered and you don't do that without speed, so you're gonna have so much pressure on the sail that you are gonna over rotate it.
I was listening as well to the clinic. I was standing there, but it was very cool. I mean, working here, there's a lot of guys are doing clinics there, and everybody has his own approach. And yeah, you gave, for example, the tip. Just look at your elbow when you turn. It was, and then I did it a couple of times. Like, let's look at the elbow, and it's so simple. It worked. Yeah. It's amazing. So, thank you guys for the free tips.
Yeah, I mean, some tips work for some guys, and then they are not there yet. So it's how it works on the clinic.
No, no. All right. It are more or less all of the questions, and our time is running out a little bit. Yeah, like I said, this last question. You can win your spot in a clinic. When it's going to be exactly, it's a bit hard to predict right now with the current situation, but there will be another clinic with these guys, and it will be epic for sure. And you can win a spot there. So if you have paid attention and you remembered the question about the favorite setup, and this one is about the setup of Mark, which is his favorite setup here in Tenerife. Of course, when the conditions are good, you've mentioned it. And just put it in the comments below if you know the answer. And then you can win it. You can win the 1 week clinic with the guys. So put it in the box below. What you think is Mark's his favorite setup. And I want to thank you guys a lot for passing by and also for being here doing the clinic. It was a pleasure. I had a blast. I think everybody had a blast by just seeing you guys in the bay and learning from you all. And again, thanks for taking the time to answer the questions. And I hope to see you guys again soon here for the next clinic. And of course, hopefully one day some competition again. Thanks. Of course you can say something, Mark.
I would like to thank as well everyone at the Duotone Pro Center here in Tenerife and in TWS. They have been super helpful and been taking a really good care of us, and the same as with all the customers from the clinic. So really appreciate that. And if you are coming here, don't hesitate to drop by the Duotone Pro Center and try some of the newest Duotone and Fanatic stuff, and they will for sure help you. And they're always super helpful and super nice people on top of that. So yeah, please come.
Thank you so much, Mark. It's important to put the question, of course, or the answer to the question in the comment box of Fanatic or Duotone, or in both, if you really want to win. The more, the better. And we hope to see you again next time. And yeah, thank you for tuning in. Cheers, guys.